What's going on, everybody? It's Joe Giunta with Trend Trading Academy. I'm here to help you trade and get paid. And guys, it's another special episode with Robert Rivera. Say what's up, Robert.
What's up?
So guys, was last week fire or what? Now, I already seen all the comments. Last week was fire. If you have not watched that video, you need to watch it right here and hear about what trading psychology really is and how it plays into your life. So powerful stuff, man. Thank you for being on last week, Robert. It was fire.
Happy to, brother. Happy to.
So guys, listen, y'all don't miss out. Go in the description. Robert's YouTube link is there. Go and sub on that channel. Go sub, hit that notification bell, and you know, go ahead and show some love to my brother, man. Let's go. Get on that channel. So today, I told you guys last week, we're going to take it a step further, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I kind of left y'all on a little cliffhanger, but I want to bring something right to where you live. Because again, I say it a lot, and I try to exemplify what I teach. I don't want to just be the guy who says, this is what you should do, but don't show you how to do it. It's, you know, you could tell me all you want to go out and fix the transmission in the truck. And I can tell you right now, by the time I get done, it's probably going to be more broken than it was when it started. Because I have no clue what I'm doing. And I already know that's going to spark some comments from some folks that know how to work on cars. But the truth is, I don't have direction. You can tell me to do something, but I mean, I could probably YouTube, or I could Google, I can try to learn. But the truth is without some guidance and without some real life application, it's going to be very difficult for me to just go out and change a transmission or something, like I won't know how to do that. So what I need somebody who knows how to do that to say, here, let me walk this with you. Let's do this together, step by step. Let's see what it looks like to change this transmission out. Well, that's what we want to do with trading psychology and mindset. It's a lot of videos out there and a lot of books and material out there that you can get that tell you, have a good mindset. Well, sure, that sounds good. Get your trading psychology right. Okay. But it's not a lot of material out there that tells you real life what is going on. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Have faith in your mind, have faith in your grind, invest in yourself, transform in your time. Have faith in your mind, have faith in your grind, invest in yourself, transform in your time. Trade and get paid, trade and get paid, trade and get paid, trade and get paid, trade and get paid.
Robert, bro, the mindset master himself. I want to talk about something real here today, all right? How do regular life occurrences, normal life, how do they impact your trading psychology, right? Like, we all have normal life to live, right? Robert, do you have bills to pay? Right?
Yeah,
We got sicknesses that happen. We got families, good and bad. We got holidays, and we've got busy schedules, and kids that go to school, and there's all kinds of things that just normal life occurrences. And how do those things impact you on the charts? How do they impact you in your trading psychology, Robert? Let's talk about that.
That's a great question. The new trader usually comes to the market eager and excited, and in fact, perhaps a little apprehensive of trading. And they don't consider perhaps that, their wife just yelled at them, the kid just fell and busted her head open. They just had an accident in the street today, or something happened, or they just spent an hour watching CNN with all those horrible events happening, and just cluttering their mind with all this negativity. And they don't realize how all those things are affecting the way they're going to see the market when they come and sit in front of it. Life occurrences have a huge thing to do with trading psychology,
Sure.
because whether we acknowledge it or not, we're connected to symbiotically, we're connected to our world around us, to
Right.
our family, to our social friends, to work, a relationship with God. You know, if that's not working well, that can be affecting us. You know, I
Sure.
mean, there's just a lot of things that go into the mindset that can affect it, and we need to become aware of them. Again, so for example, you asked about life occurrences. You know, if you had a stressful day at work because you didn't meet a deadline, right? And your boss is upset with you, and you have that in the back of your head, or you have taxes that need to be filed and you haven't filed them yet, and you have all that paperwork waiting for you over there. You keep procrastinating because you're hoping that another stimulus bill will come and push it back for another year, right? All those things are burying in the back of your head, and they are consuming energy from you.
Sure.
When you come to the charts, you may not think that's affecting you. That is absolutely affecting you. Here's a good example. I was a baseball player for all through my youth and through college, right? And I was playing for a Division I team. And on this specific day, I was a freshman. Consider this: I'm a freshman on a Division I team, ranked number 3 in the nation, and they put me in as a cleanup hitter, right, on that day, right? My first season. And I'm so super excited, right? Super excited. Well, that same day, my ex-fiance was having surgery in a hospital that I could see, you know, not a half a mile away. I could see it from the stadium, okay? And I didn't think of anything about it. Didn't even think of anything about it. I go up there to play, struck out the first time, struck out the second time, struck out the third time. Now, this is a guy that would never strike out. I'm the guy that went an entire season without striking out. Okay, so strikeouts is not my thing, and these were all fastballs right down the middle. Okay, I don't miss fastballs down the middle, you know. So I didn't even think about it. I was a kid, you know, I didn't think about it. It wasn't until years later I realized my fiance was being operated on right over there, and I wasn't considering it. That was affecting my performance on the field.
Sure.
There's just no, how can I say? The scripture says a double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. Okay, so basically, if your mind is divided over several different things, and you come to the market thinking that you're going to execute perfectly on a trade when they are professionals on the other side of that trade that are there to take your money, you're mistaken, and it will affect you in a massive way. So how can we hedge against that? How can we prepare ourselves against that? Well, first of all, we need to become aware that, okay, perhaps an inventory, doing an inventory, a self-inventory before you sit at the trading table. What happened today that may affect my trading today? You know, what happened today? What's going on in my life right now at this very moment that could affect my trading and I'm not even aware of? And if you take just a minute to consider that, you'll recognize these things. Okay. And now you need to clear your mind from that. And we have meditation techniques, breathing techniques that can help you. We teach all of this at the Academy. Be very happy to give you more insight into that. But basically, again, life circumstances affect us in a great manner. And if we're not prepared for them, the next thing you know is you just lost, you know, half of your account and you don't even know what happened. Okay. And it's just simply something's going on in your life that's affecting you and you weren't aware.
So let's talk about the residual effect of life occurrences. Like, so I remember my pastor always told me, he would teach us that when never make like a big life decision, a critical decision while you were in a crisis, while you were sick, or while you were overly exhausted.
That's so good.
He said, don't make critical decisions. Like, you know, that's when you have counsel and you need other voices, you know, to help you, because you may not be thinking right during a crisis. You just may be desperate, or maybe you're sick and you're foggy, or maybe you're overly exhausted and you make a decision that you're going to regret later, you know? And so my pastor taught me that. He said, don't make critical decisions in those times. And that's where, you know, for me, I look at the scripture and it says that there's safety in a multitude of counsel. And so for me, I love that, because I have, you know, people, elders and people that speak into my life, Robert, that I, you know, whose opinions and whose thoughts and whose minds I value. And so, you know, that's when I would lean to those people and say, look, I'm in a situation right now that I want to make sure I'm thinking correctly, you know.
So good. So good.
And so with all that being said, how does that play into your trading psychology, Robert? Like, you know, maybe you're sick, and you got it could be just a, you know, I just got a cold, no big deal. Okay, fine. Maybe, you know, you just lost your job, you know, or maybe they got you working 20 hours overtime, you know, or whatever that looks like. How do these occurrences like impact, and how do we navigate our way through outside circumstances and apply it, you know, applying to our trading psychology?
Well, here's the thing that should be the premise of all of that. We don't need to trade every day. You know, we don't need to trade every day. Not every day is a good day to trade. Now, if you're brand new, that's difficult for you, right? Because you're excited, you just ready to roar and to take this market, and you got these great expectations of what you're going to do. But the experienced trader knows, you know, that when you are sick, when you are tired, you know, I once went through 3 or 4 days in a row where I think I had 3 hours of sleep or something like that. And so I woke up late to come to the market, and I woke up when the move had already happened. Now I'm chasing the market, right? Because I lost the trade, and I've been doing so well. Well, that night I lost thousands of dollars just simply from not being self-aware. Robert, today is not a day to trade. Today is a day to sleep. You know, today is a day to just chill. You know, the market will be there tomorrow. Absolutely. And so things like that, you know, unfortunately for a lot of us, we have to experience them to then recognize, oh, today's not a good day to trade. You know, I'm too tired. There's too much stress going on at the house. And you said it perfectly, I think, Joe. You know, when you are exhausted, when you are sick, when you have stress, the high stress going on in your life, that's not the time to be making heavy decisions. Right. You know, and anytime that you go to the market, you're making some rather important decisions. Absolutely. Because today's trade is going to affect you. Can I say, it's going to affect the way you see tomorrow's trade, and then the next trade after that, and next trade after that. And so it's how can I say? I think it would be best to take the approach of a professional athlete. You know, a professional athlete, let's say a baseball player, let's say a basketball player comes to the line to throw a free throw. And he's not thinking that his entire career is now, for a rookie, perhaps he's thinking his entire career is he needs to make this free shot, you know. But an experienced professional player knows he may lose, he may miss this shot. It's no big deal. He's going to do another 100 of them, and he's going to hit about 70%, 80%, or whatever, you know, whatever his percentage is. He knows he's going to hit that consistency. So perhaps the best approach is, you know what? If I don't trade today, it's okay. I can always trade tomorrow, and the market is still going to be there. I consider Forex to be like a river, an ocean of money that is never ending, right? And the professional trader, the disciplined trader, that's the biggest thing, right? That's the good. Disciplined trader knows when to come to the river, put his bucket in, take whatever he wants, whatever he needs for that day, and go home. Now, there are days when the river is flooding. And perhaps it's not the day to trade. Sorry, guys. Perhaps that day is not the day to trade. Now, there's more water than ever, right? It doesn't mean that today is the day to trade. You know, even if you may bring a bulldozer, right? Okay, well, there's more water, so let me bring a bulldozer, and the water just takes your bulldozer down the river. You know, it's not every day is good to trade. When you're tired, when you're exhausted, when things are going on in your life, like Joe explained, stop and consider first, are you able to put yourself in a trader's mindset in order to trade? If you're not able, it's okay. The market will be there tomorrow. Go get some sleep.
So, you know, now, Robert, what you're saying is, you know, I agree 100%. It's awesome. Now, for somebody who may not be quite as experienced, especially particularly in trading, how do you actually gain control over these situations? So like, it's one thing to say, okay, we got a lot of things going on in our life right now, so maybe I shouldn't be trading today, or something like that, and that's good advice. How do we, maybe to close this video out, how do we gauge and gain control over that aspect? How do we know, okay, this is too much stress, because let's be honest, everybody deals with stress every day.
Yeah.
Everybody's tired. If you work a job, or if we all have outside circumstances that sometimes are just not gonna end. If I know, for an example, let me give an example. I know somebody right now who is balancing trying to become a trader and having a small child, and she's a single mother, and she's trying to take care of her kids trading London, but then the baby wakes up and is screaming and yelling and whatever, and how, that's not something that you can just say, well, I'll not trade tonight because the problem will go away tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, so with those type of circumstances, things that maybe aren't going to change
Right.
for a while,
Right.
how do you gauge when is what's the breaking point? If my stress is at a 4, can I trade? But if it's at a 6, can I not trade? Like, how do you how do you gauge that in such a way where we know how to maintain ourselves and control the atmosphere around us, if you would? If you could.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. What I've learned is you're absolutely correct. You cannot control the outside things that are coming at you. And we would all love to be able to trade in ideal circumstances, and that's rarely the case. So you need to institute habits that can put you in the correct emotional state, mindset to be able to trade. Some of the things that I do, excuse me, some of the things that I do is breathing, and meditation. But breathing is a huge one, okay? Because let me explain to you what happens when are stressed. When you are stressed, cortisol comes rushing through your body. And if you are constantly in a state of stress, that cortisol level remains high. When cortisol is high, your amygdala back here takes control over your brain. This is your primal brain. This is the fight or flight brain. This is the one that when you're walking down a dark alley, it's prickled up and is ready and is aware of everything that's going on, right? So that you know that if you have to fight or if you have to run, when this is heightened, your frontal lobe, which is your reason lobe, the one that thinks, okay, and can reason, is shut down. I mean, that's how it works. If this is activated, this is shut down. If this is heavily activated, then this is shut down, okay? What breathing allows you to do is that it infuses oxygen into your brain. And when your brain feels the oxygen, because let me explain something else. When this is active and you're in a heightened state of awareness, your breathing becomes shallow. If you think about it, your breathing becomes shallow. Sometimes you stop breathing completely. Like if you get a fright, if you're walking down the street and you see something that's not right, you stop breathing because all your energy, your body is getting ready for that moment of defending themselves, right? So all your oxygen is going to your extremities. Everything is being shut down and putting you in a state to survive. Okay, that's the whole mentality when you are in danger. Okay, so what breathing does, deep breaths, right? What breathing does, it infuses your brain with oxygen. And the moment that oxygen hits your brain understands I'm not in danger. Wow. And the moment that your brain knows that it's not in danger, this shuts down, this comes back, and now you gain control again. Now, obviously, that's something that you have to practice. It's not going to be something you're going to do in the moment and, oh, you're all good, okay? If you're having an anxiety attack, for example, that's probably not going to work very well. I've dealt with it, knowing that I had 2 anxiety attacks back when I was going through a very stressful time in my life. And knowing this, I did this exercise for a whole hour before my heart rate finally calmed down. Wow. And that's another thing, by the way, your breathing controls your heart rate. So by increasing oxygen, by controlling your breathing, you are slowing down your heart. You're telling your brain everything's okay. Remember that all of this is completely subconscious. All these reactions that we have are completely subconscious. Okay, it's the brain that God gave us to keep us safe when we're in danger. And here's the unfortunate thing: anytime that your brain senses risk, it thinks that it is danger. And coming to the trading chart, you're activating the risk. There's no way around it. So going back to what you were saying, to the question that you asked me, Joe, meditation, prayer, breathing will, as you practice it, will help you gain control over those areas of your life that then will allow you to trade. And once you have practiced it and are pretty skilled with it, you will know when today's not a good day to trade. Sure. Today is not a good day to trade. I just did my breathing exercises. I just did my meditation, and I'm still not in a trader's mindset. It's not a good day to trade. And you just take the day off, period.
Wow, that is awesome, bro. Great teaching right there. Guys, I promise you pay big money to get this kind of teaching, man. You go.
I did.
Go.
Money for that.
You pay big money for this kind of teaching. And look, here's the crazy part about all of it, Robert, is I'm anxious to see. I'm highly anticipating the release of this video, because if I were to release a video tomorrow that said, learn how to make $100,000 right now, man, it would have 1 million views. It would be
right.
But when I release this video that's going to say, learn how to control your breathing to get your trading psychology right, are people going to watch it? Right? Like, do people put value in the right places is really what I'm saying.
Right.
We have been you said it last week, that we've become accustomed to wanting not to lose. Right. And what a great point that was. That has molded or manipulated our minds into falsely assessing what true value is. And this is true value. What you guys heard here today, I would venture to say that what you heard in today's video is probably more valuable to your trading future than any other video that you may have watched. Why? Because I've told you a million times, I could show you how to take a 35% strategy and make 3 to 5% weekly on your account. All that is a game of numbers. That's easy. But this, learning how to discipline yourself, learning how to know when to step back and know when to step in, knowing how to gauge and control the atmosphere around you, even when things are uncontrollable, that's invaluable outside of trading. It's not just going to apply to your trading only, but this stuff, it applies to life. This applies to how you parent. This applies to how you are with your spouse. This applies to your work life. This applies to your education. This is powerful stuff, guys. So we're going to leave you today with that. Next week, I have another very powerful one for you. We're going to have Robert back for one last video. Are you guys excited to have Robert back one more time? And man, look, if y'all are missing out, because y'all are getting Robert now for 3 weeks. We got Robert in TTA 7 days a week, So, man, I appreciate you, Robert. That was amazing stuff today. Next week, we're going to talk about some very, very applicable techniques, if you would, and how this stuff really applies to charts. All right. So stay tuned for next week's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to go to Robert's channel, Rivera Trading Group, and hit that subscribe button. You're going to get a lot of game over there, weekly updates, all kind of cool stuff he does. So for now, guys, we'll see you next week.